Hey guys, this is Sifler95 of Malachor 5, and this is my first video here on YouTube. Today we're going to discuss The Other Westmore. I'm going to do a review today for you guys. Before I forget, I'm going to mention this channel is going to have video game reviews, movie reviews, book reviews, and geek culture in general, and a few mysteries. But we're not going to discuss those things today. So the book, The Other Westmore, is about these two guys with the same name. One of them is an author, and one guy is not doing the best. He is a criminal who unfortunately did a crime of taking someone's life, a security guard at a jewelry store. And yeah, this isn't an easy read for some people. It's a very difficult book to read. It's very emotional. It's reality. It's not. I'm just gonna say it like that. Life is not fair sometimes, and that's what this book talks about. But we have to stay strong. We have to push through life, And this is why I enjoyed the book. This story. It's very heartwarming. It's very emotional. It's a good book. A very nice story. And the author, I'm going to talk about the author. He basically wrote a memoir of his story and the other individual who's in prison right now. He will have to stay there for the rest of his life because of the crime he committed. So the author and the other Westmore, who's in jail now, that's what the book's basically about. And he grew up in Baltimore. They both did grow up in Baltimore. And his mom is from Jamaica. His grandparents are also from Jamaica. One of them, actually. His grandfather is from Jamaica. His mom's from Cuba. And I'm going to mention that this book it's a debate about upbringing, nature versus nurture. It's an argument. It's been going on for years now. And the author grew up in Baltimore, like I mentioned. Then his family moved to the Bronx, and he was starting school, but his mom did not want him to go to public school because it was rough in the Bronx, New York, really rough. And he went to a private school, like I mentioned. I think it was some Catholic school. I don't remember. Sorry if I don't remember the name of the school he went to. And one day, his uncle, actually, not his grandfather, sorry, I meant to say uncle, did an experiment to see how his friends from the old neighborhood in Baltimore, sorry, the Bronx, his old friends from his old school, and his friends from his new school. I'm not going to mention that. Didn't end well. It was a disaster. A fight broke out, and you know what happens. Anyway, the school in the book mentioned, the school he went to, it was all Caucasian school. They were all white. I'm going to mention I'm not racist, and I think it's a very horrible thing to be judgmental of a person's background. And he grew up there in the Bronx, and he was a good student and everything, but the teachers, he had trouble processing some information, so they assumed he had a learning disability, but he knew hip hop. But he also started to get into trouble, which is not good. So his mother put him in military school, and over the years, as he went through military school, that, in my opinion, that made him change as a person. That made him grow as a person, the person he is today, and that is a very successful person. And I think his mom contributed to that, him being successful. And I can relate to this book because my family has always been there for me, and they're very supportive. And if it wasn't for my family, I wouldn't be the person who I am today. That's why I recommend this book for everybody. If you have a family out there and they care about you and they support you, thank them because they made you the person you are today. Okay? Don't forget to do that. And the other Westmore grew up in Baltimore. And he started to hang out with the wrong crowd, and he started to get into fights, and he started hanging around with the wrong kind of friends, you know. And one thing leads to another one. He started to get involved in drug dealing, and he started to get involved with the drugs. And he was messing around with women. He shouldn't have done that at a young age as a teenager. And he left so many different women pregnant. And he did not want to take responsibility for his first child. But he changed his mind because his father was never in his life. And his father was very brutal, very blunt, the way he treated him. And one thing I don't like about he was raised is that his mother passed away and his father was very brutal about it. And I'm also going to mention his mom got remarried after his father left. And his stepfather took care of him. And unfortunately, when his mother passed away, his new father, his stepfather, left. And that's very difficult. That's very sad. But it is what it is. That's what life is sometimes. Life sucks. You can't do anything about that. But you just gotta stay strong. You keep it together, man. That's all I gotta say. And yeah, he started to get involved with the wrong crowd, hanging out with thug friends. Yeah, hanging out with thugs. Not the best option. And he started drug dealing and everything. And one particular time, his mom found drugs, and he made up a lie, telling his mom he was getting money being a DJ, and that's not true. That's not the case because his mom found drugs in his room. And like I said, one thing leads to another. And throughout his life, he became a criminal. He started making the wrong decisions, the wrong life choices. And he is where he is